Hello, my YouTube family. I hope you all are staying happy, healthy, and safe. I have been wanting to create this video for quite some time. I've had quite a few subscribers ask me about my yarn preferences and how they are able to duplicate the chunky yarn blanket without chunky yarn. So I have mastered a way to create a beautiful blanket without using chunky yarn. And here it is. I hope you enjoy. For this project, I will be using 3 large skeins of yarn, and I will be demonstrating how to attach more yarn if you are wanting a bigger blanket. This is 300 grams and 10.5 ounces. You are more than welcome to use any other type of yarn, but this is just my preference for now, and I've just found that it worked. So let's get started. What I like to do is arrange my skeins so that they are parallel to each other, so that it's just easier to get to. So I just put them right next to each other, just like this. Get my third skein. And then find the ends to your skein. So once I have the ends to the skein, I'm going to match them up. So I'm going to put them all together. Make sure that they, get that in there. Make sure that they are all the same, just like that. Put them together. And then I am going to do a slip knot. So just as I show in other videos, I am going to wrap around so that it looks like a really big ribbon, care ribbon, just like this. Then I'm going to give this one twist, one more twist, just like that. And then I'm going to get these end pieces right here, and I'm going to grab them through, hold on to these ends, and pull a loop. Now this loop, I usually like the loop a little bit tighter. I usually say about 1 inch to 2 inches for this loop, because we have so many strands. We're working with quite a few more strands, and I've done 2 strands in the past and it's worked perfectly fine, but now that we're working with 3 strands, I like to keep the loop at least 2.5 to 3 inches, because you tend to lose it with the strands, and I'll demonstrate that in just a bit on how that works. But you want to keep it about 2.5 to 3 inches wide or long. Okay, so you will get your 3 strands of yarn. You're going to put them together, make sure that they are all nice and straight together, just like that. Then we are going to do a loop, and we want to do a fairly large loop because we're working with so many strands. So about this wide. So we're going to do like a ribbon looking thing, just like this. You're going to do a little twist. And then you're gonna come down and grab these little ends right here. Pull through, make sure that you're holding on to the ends though, because you're pulling through and creating a loop. Make sure that you're not creating this loop too tight. You wanna pull, kind of tug at it, just like this. Now on my other videos, I'm using chunky yarn. So the loop, I usually use the loop about, I usually say about an inch, maybe 2 inches at the widest. You want to do at least 2.5 to 3 inches on this one, and you'll see why in just a bit, because we're working with so many strands that it's easier to see the strands if you do a larger loop. So measure this area about 2.5 to 3 inches. Right, now we're going to set this down. We're going to set this down and we are going to create our chain. So let's leave those little frayed ends, those little straight ends at the end, and we are going to create our chain. So I'm going to get my fingers to stick them in through the loop, get my 3 strands, and then I'm going to grab the 3 strands, pull it through the loop, and then set it down right there. Now I'm going to go in once again, grab my 3 strands, pull it through the loop, and then set it down. Okay, so as you can see, we've just created this right here. Now I'm going to go in through the 3 strands, grab my 3 strands, pull it through, and each time you're kind of pulling and tugging at it just a little bit more. Set it down. Now I'm going to go under, grab my 3 strands, pull it through, and then just kind of tug at this end right here. Go under, grab the 3 strands, and then just tug at the end. Now you're just going to continue doing that as big as you want, as long as you want. Remember that this is the width of the blanket, so this is really just up to you on how big you're wanting the blanket to be. I usually do a standard of 19 chains, so it's entirely up to you. Okay, when you are done, you will start to see that it's starting to look like a braid. So you'll see these little areas right here, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see what we're working with and where we are going to continue with this. So you will have your end piece right here, and let me zoom in on what it should look like and make sure that it's nice and flat. So you're going to press it down, make sure it's nice and flat, and pull through the 3 bottom strands. We will be using those strands. Okay, once you make sure that it's nice and flat, you want to very, very carefully flip it over. And you can see right where you kind of smashed it down flat. And you have this loop right here. So this loop was continuing. You're going to pull it towards you, just like that. Now these bottom loops that I was pointing at, so these bottom stitches right here, you are going to grab your yarn, grab your 3 strands. Let's rearrange this downward like this. Now you're going to get the 3 strands, you're going to pull them under. Now this bottom loop right here, you are going to get your 3 strands and you are going to pull them under and through until you've created a loop like this, and you're just going to let that exposed loop stay there. Okay, so make sure that you have your 3 right here, your 3 right here. Then we're going to get your 3 strands and move on to the next bottom loop. So we're working through this bottom loop, this bottom loop, this bottom loop, this bottom loop. So you're going to go into your next 3 here. Make sure that you only have 3. Go and pull under and pull through. Looks like that. And don't worry about these. This kind of is a nuisance. And you start to like what loop goes to what. Don't worry about them. Don't pull on them too much. Just let them be. Just once you pull this through, let it be. Move on to your next. Pull under, pull through your 3, and you want these loose, so don't make them too tight, and it's going to start to look like this. There's this bottom one right here, so you'll go under, pull through, make it nice and loose, and it will start to look like this. As you're pulling on your skeins of yarn, just kind of unravel as you go so it can be nice and clean. So let's work into the next one. We will go under, pull through, and I'm just creating these series of loops. Working into the next 3, pull through, working into the next 3. You'll do that all the way till you get to the end. When you are finished with your row, you are going to flip over very carefully. Flip over. Everything towards you. And then going from left to right, you are going to find your 3 strands. So, let's see, I'm gonna pull these out right here. Those are my leftover. And then I'm going to grab my first 3 strands. So there's my 1, 2, 3. Okay, when you are done, you are very carefully going to flip over because we always work from left to right. You will find your last 3 loops. So those are my little braid loops. My last 3 loops were these ones right here. I'm going to go under, so get my next 3 right here, going to go under and pull through, loosely creating these little 3 loops right here. And I will just continue that, so I'll get my 3, find my next 3 side by side, so there's 1, 2, 3, go under and pull through. Remember to make these really loose. You don't want them too tight because you will lose yourself in the loops. So as you're picking up your loops, you have your 3 here, you have your 3 here, your 3 here, your 3 here, and just be mindful on separating them so you know you have 3, 1, 2, 3, under and pull through. I'm gonna move the camera so you can take a look at it right behind me. I jumped over to this runner that I'm creating using the same technique, going back and forth, and I chose to use this so I can demonstrate how to attach the yarn strands. When you get to the point where you're running out of yarn, you can use this fabric adhesive. I found this at Walmart, and you're able to find it at just about any craft store. So Joann's Fabric, Hobby Lobby also has these adhesives, or you can also sew the ends together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more crochet fun. Thanks for watching.